Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Connor here. Welcome back to your rumour mill. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. And we are back here with, of course, some more news, some more transfer news, and, of course, the big thing that we've all been waiting for, a little bit of updates. Now, of course, there's been rumours consistently overnight about Rodrigo de Paul, and we're about to get to those just in a second. Before that, I hope you're all doing really well. Get your comments in the section below. Morning, Graham. Harry Mobbs, hello, my friend. Morning, Ulrich. Hey up, Connor says, Matty. I hope you're all doing really well. Easy, Connor, lad. Phil. Yeah, and guys, I hope you're all doing fantastic well on this very warm day. Very, very warm day. I'm in my room on a very, very warm day, about 35 degrees up here. So this is going to be short and snappy. But before we start, guys, listen, always go check out the sponsor of our video, which is shipbikesusa.com. Make sure you check the guys, burning the guys out, do all your customized, detailed bikes to everybody's individual needs. Now, prior starting, guys, there's been some massive news on leedsunited.com, which has just come out right now. Season 2 of Take Me Home will be coming out on Amazon Prime in 2 days, which is extremely exciting news. So obviously it's going to be the return of Amazon cameras at Ellen Road. We're going to be seeing all the behind the scenes, you know, Ben White, Eddie Nketiah transfer, obviously the promotion, the celebrations, which is great. And I'm absolutely buzzing for that. So that's out apparently, guys, in 2 days' time. We've had enough of that Tottenham rubbish. I'm sick of watching it. It's not even all about Tottenham. It's Mourinho documentary, isn't it? We want to see a documentary about a football club, a proper football club in Leeds United. And yeah, that's going to be out in 2 days. So very exciting times at Ellen Road, and more exciting times to come as well, because as I was saying to you guys yesterday, player power plays a massive part in football, and boy, does it play a massive part in football. I think it's here. Rodrigo de Paul, this guy, he's been making a little bit of noise recently. He's been making a little bit of noise, hasn't he? On all social media. He seems to be liking a lot of Leeds things. Rodrigo, where's your PR team? They've taken your phone off you at last. But he seems to be doing everything on Instagram and Twitter regarding Leeds. He's searching his own name, which we talked about yesterday. But it seemed to gain a little level of a new level of updatery, we'll call it. A new level of updatery last night, as Rodrigo de Paul liked a post from the Square Ball, which was directed to him, which was essentially saying, are you coming to Leeds? Are you going to be coming to Leeds? And then he put back, yes, with one of those emojis. Now, we were talking yesterday about player power in football. We've seen with Ben White that player power doesn't always work. We all knew, evidently, he wanted to move to Leeds, but Brighton didn't want to sell him to a promotion, a rival, a relegation rival, if you will, which is fair enough. So player power can work and it can't work. Now, Rodrigo de Paul seems to be digging his heels in now. This has been happening for about 7 to 10 days in terms of him liking Leeds United posts. It's so evident that he wants the move to Leeds. Now, there's been reports as well that Zenit St. Petersburg, the Russian giants, have put, or they're ready to table a bid for Rodrigo de Paul, but he doesn't want to go to Russia. And why would you? You know, you're in the Med, wherever you are, you know, the Amalfi Coast, wherever you are, you fancy going for a little trip to Florence or Venice, you know, and then you go into Russia. No disrespect to Russia, but I've been to Russia. It's very cold indeed. So I don't think Rodrigo wants to move there, apparently. I don't know if they are the reasons, but allegedly he doesn't want to, in all seriousness, he doesn't want to, doesn't want the move to Zenit. He doesn't want the move to Russia, and he wants to be playing his football in England, in the Premier League, the biggest league in the world, under Marcelo Bielsa, the greatest coach in the world. So there's a lot of stipulations to this, a lot of talk going on. Phil crashed our hopes, though, and came out this morning and essentially said there's not been that much movement. But that doesn't mean there hasn't been movement. There can still be talks going on behind closed doors. Fabrizio Romano, obviously, for me, the best news source in European football, has come out and said that Rodrigo de Paul last night wants to move to Leeds. The problem is the £40 million fee. Not euros, allegedly. It's apparently pounds. So as we talk about consistently on the rumour mill, when we're talking about Pozzo, the Udinese and Watford owner, he is the Daniel Levy of Italian football. He is such a hard negotiator, a really tough negotiator. So it is one of those where we've got to get this one done. If the player wants to move, the financials that Leeds are talking about from I believe, I can't remember what outlet it was, but it was like a decent Leeds outlet was saying that apparently we've got about 45 million left to spend. Do you spend 40 million, 35 to 40 million on Rodrigo de Paul, a man second in the man of the matches, second in assists in Serie A, one of the prodigies of Argentinian football. Do you do that, or do you hold back, get a Harry Wilson, and then get another very good player? Now, for me, if you're going with that sort of mantra, you've got to think with Rodrigo de Paul what Leeds' budget is left. Now, Leeds apparently are stickling at 25 million. If Leeds are going to go 40 million, are we going to get a player on loan as well as an addition? Well, yeah, but loans cost money. You know, we saw the Eddie Nketiah loan to Leeds United apparently cost Leeds 3 million. So loans of big clubs, you know, big players coming in. You know, there's been talk of Dan James, Harry Wilson, etc. I don't think Harry Wilson will go for a loan again. But all of this talk about all these players, they cost money. Loans cost money. We all know that. You know, loans cost a lot of money nowadays. It's not just a case of, oh, we'll take him on loan for a year. You know, we'll pay 100% of the wage budget and yeah, that's it. We'll sort it. That it's not. There's a lot more. There's loan fees. There's bonuses. It's all included within in that fee. So what I'm trying to say is the ballpark fee that Leeds have still got left to spend is 45. Right, so if we're spending 40 on Rodrigo de Paul, what does that leave us left? We're all talking about wanting another centre-back, although after the weekend, the left side of the centre-back for me is Pascal Stroik's. For me, that's his all day long. I think he's been brilliant. But do we need a little bit of cover on the right-hand side? I always worry about us on that right-hand side. Goalkeeper, for me, is massive. We need another goalkeeper in. We need another goalkeeper in. God forbid Meslier gets injured for a period of time, which can happen in a football season. Of course it can. Keepers get injured. Then what happens? Kiko comes in. You know, we've seen in pre-season, he played 2 games. He made 2 mistakes. Don't want that in the Premier League. You know, I thought Meslier was brilliant at the weekend. You don't want Kiko in a game like that. There's going to be mistakes here, there, and everywhere. So do we get another keeper, an experienced keeper or a young keeper to bring in alongside Meslier? I'd like Meslier to start, but, you know, if you can bring sort of a Rob Green in, you know, not Rob Green, but that sort of player who's going to come in, he's at the back end of his career and he can coax Meslier through that Premier League campaign. I think that would be absolutely vital, getting someone like him in to be able to help Meslier through this campaign, which is going to be a tough campaign, but you just don't want him to get injured. You do not want him to get injured for me. But yeah, anyway, so this is it, guys. We've got to think about what's in that mantra, what's in that blueprint. Would you go get Rodrigo de Paul, spend essentially all the budget, or are Leeds going to continue just haggling down? If Pozo's talking 40 million and Leeds are talking 25, that's a huge gap. That is a massive, massive gap. We know the player wants to move. Apparently, according to Fabrizio as well, he has agreed terms. There's Demarcio as well saying that he's agreed terms coming to Leeds. He wants to come to Leeds. The differential is going to be the fee, and we've seen that consistently. Brighton with Ben White was very different because they were just never going to sell to Leeds. Pozo and Udinese will be selling Rodrigo de Paul this window for me. I don't know where it's going to be, though. I don't know where it's going to be. Could it be to Leeds? Yeah, definitely. Could it not be to Leeds? Could it be Zenit? If Zenit are going to pay that fee, Rodrigo de Paul has a say, but money always talks. We know that. That's the big mantra in football, isn't it? So let's see what some of you guys are saying. In the keeper front, Foster, Joe Hart and Martinez would have been great in terms of goalkeeper. Ben Foster once again. Philip Anderson says Rod would be great, but we'll have to wait and see. I think it'll be done by the end of the week. If not, we move on from him. I genuinely believe that. I think Phil's bang on. I think it will get done. I genuinely do. And it'll be because Leeds are still hanging in there. We're still hanging in there. We're still there and thereabouts. A lot of outlets, including Phil Hayes, saying there's been no progress on the deal. But no progress doesn't mean there isn't talks behind the scenes. There's clearly been talks behind the scenes. All very good European outlets are reporting it, stating that there are advanced discussions happening between Leeds and Udinese, but the stickler is obviously going to be the fee. And as Julian says here, 40 mil for a world-class player. And that's the big thing, isn't it? Do you pay 40 million pounds for someone who is ideal for this division? You know, then you're looking at maybe a goalkeeper on a free. Are there many free goalkeepers out there, free agents who have Premier League experience who can come in and they'll be happy to just coax Meslier through it? For me as well, you know, I do want another centre back. I do want another centre back to cover, you know, the right hand side. And as well, you've got to have a cam. And as well, apparently want a winger. So then you've got to look at maybe a cam. Realism, if you're paying 40 million, a cam and a winger on loan. That's how it goes for me. If we get the Rodrigo de Paul signing done, it's going to be a cam. It's going to be a winger on loan. If we don't get the de Paul signing done and we go for someone like Harry Wilson, who's going to be a third of the price, you get someone like Harry Wilson, you get a centre back. You potentially spend a bit more on a loan fee on a winger, and you might get a keeper for a decent fee. That's the sort of ballpark we're working in here. Graham Walker says the get 49ers to give us a few quid. Beanman Crazy says De Paul or bust for me. Ben says, if we do spend the 40 million, will there be anything left for additions in January if we get injuries? That's a brilliant point, because we've got to look at the budget. There isn't a magical budget that comes apparent in January. This is a collective for the whole season. And that's a fantastic point there. A really good point. And Joel says here that RDP and Click would link up extremely well. And I agree with it. Nan Ban's saying that he's worth 40 million. And this is it. Do you go and pay 40 million? We're going to get pelters on social media. But Ollie Watkins he's just cost Aston Villa 33 million. 33 million. There's money going around everywhere. Now, Rodrigo de Paul is a proven Serie A player. What a player he is. We've all seen the highlight reels. We all know what sort of clubs are going in after him. Napoli have inquired. AC Milan have inquired. Zenit St. Petersburg have inquired. These are Champions League clubs or Europa League clubs. Leeds, if we get out, he wants to come. He wants to come. But can we blow our budget? Can we do the Ridsdale? Can we afford it? Is the big thing. But like a lot of you guys are saying, turning around and saying, can we? Are we burnt as fans by what happened with Ridsdale? I certainly am. But we need to get that out of our heads. We've got the 49ers behind us. Apparently, Khalifi is behind us at PSG. Rumours still that he will be the successor at Leeds United. Who knows? Once again, this is the rumour mill. No foundation to that, but it's what is always out there. And Radrazani obviously has backers everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So unlike Ridsdale, who I feel was just doing it out of his own pocket and spending, living the dream. Try not to swear on this channel, but my thoughts on Ridsdale. But yeah, I would love to get rid of it. As an ideal player, it's him. It's him. He fits everything. He suits everything. He's versatile across the front three as well. Can play centre midfield. He's everything. He's everything. So if you don't want to get a winger in, we can move things around. Obviously, Somerville's now come into the squad. Crescencio Summerfield from Feyenoord Youth. Are we going to be utilising maybe Joe Gelhard? That's going to be the interesting point. But listen, guys, I have been waffling on way too much. There's 355 of you watching. If you wouldn't mind liking the video, your Hull City preview will be out this evening at 5 p.m. So stick around for that. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Rodrigo de Paul, I'm going to predict this one will get done. Let me know what you think in the comments as well, because this live chat will finish. Let me know in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day. Have a great day with your family. If you're at work, I'll get some content out for you this evening. I promise you. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you in a bit.